On May the 19th, our government is going to be signing our military over to the EU, which means we're going to be losing control of our sovereignty.
Anything that's decided behind the closed doors of the Cabinet Office that affects the security of this nation is treason. Once he does that, we've lost our sovereignty.
Here's Simon Bean, MBE, to explain what you can do to stop this from happening.
Hi everyone, this is Simon Bean, MBE, Maverick on X. Just going to have a few words about Starmer giving our military away to the EU, which we can't put up with as I've put in previous videos. Yeah, Simon, if you just want to tell everyone what you know and what you can tell us.
Well, what I know so far is for the last sort of 12, we had a Lisbon Treaty over there in Portugal. It's 2009, and that talked about a thing called EU military unification. It's sometimes referred to as Defence Union. It's sometimes referred to as PESCO or a European army. It's all pretty much the same thing, but it's not just an army. It's the whole of our defence forces, and it involves MI5, MI6, the Five Eyes intelligence gathering group, the police, the army, the navy, and the Royal Air Force. So absolutely everything. Now, we've pushed against this for years. Myself and several other sort of people have pushed against this. Strategic defence initiatives have pushed against it. Retired generals have pushed against it. Admirals of the fleet have pushed against it. It's 8 pillars, goes from everything from sort of finance to research and development all the way through to sort of everyday support of one another, a bit like NATO in a way.
So at the moment, we're a part of NATO, aren't we?
Yeah.
Which means our military is governed by rules and decisions have to be made before our boys are sent to fight abroad or whatever. But now, with Starmer's plan, which I remind everyone is in 3 weeks' time, they're trying to pass this through government, he wants to hand over control of our military to the EU, which means we'll have no say on where they're sent, who they're fighting for, and everything else. Most of our military boys sign up to defend our country, not to go and fight in political wars, which is the problem in 3 weeks' time. Can you just stress how important it is that we get behind something to stop this happening if we can?
Ursula von der Leyen, who's the president of the EU, when she was, back in time a few years, when she was sort of the Secretary of State for Defence, if you like, within Germany, she was pushing for this EU Defence Union. The pushback was on. She ended up moving to the EU. She still wanted it. Mrs May, Theresa May, remember her? She was going to sign us in to the final pillar, which is PESCO, which is Permanent Structured Cooperation between member states of the EU. We pushed back so much that she never signed it up. Keir Starmer now, on May the 19th of this year, wants to sign that last bit up. She's travelling to Lisbon to do it. The yearly National Security Conference. So, once he does that, we've lost our sovereignty. We've lost our autonomy, and everything that's dear to us, our military, our police services, our security services,
Our protection,
falls under Brussels.
Exactly.
Brussels dictate where we go, where we don't go. So if Germany suddenly decides to get together with France and they get together with somebody else in Europe and they say, let's go and help the Ukrainians out and fight Russia.
And we have no say in the matter.
We've got no say. All 27 member states of Europe go, plus us. So the result of Brexit doesn't make this go away, because this is on a separate treaty, the Lisbon Treaty of 2009. And he's going to sign that last bit. Anything that's decided behind the closed doors of the Cabinet Office that affects the security of this nation is treason.
That's right.
And it needs to be seen as such. And the fact that old Billy Tony Blair signed off some laws so that ministers and people in high up places couldn't be taken up for treason is neither here nor there. That rule needs to be revoked. It needs to be put back in that treason is still a thing.
Exactly, scare them off at least.
Yeah, and anybody that's involved in EU military unification And surrendering our security to Europe needs to be held to account.
That's really, apparently part of this deal, he's already given our fishing rights, our fishing waters away for this military deal, which I don't agree with. And also a lot of our soldiers now are leaving, aren't they, because of what's happening. Because they're signed up to fight for our country, they've done tours, they're experienced soldiers, they're not just like people that have had it for 2 years, decided they don't fancy it and they're leaving. These are like hardened military personnel of ours. And they're even seeing the problem that this is going to obviously cause for us down, future down the line.
Retention is piss poor, to put it bluntly.
Exactly.
People are leaving on their droves. The Army, Navy and Air Force.
They're already under budgeted as well. The stuff.
It's all gone totally woke.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Nobody wants to do anything anymore. Nobody wants to tie a pair of boots to their feet and go running.
Well,
they want to
polish their boots like we used to.
Yeah, lounge about in their flip-flops or trainers,
That's it.
So, and they're not getting anybody to join because young people are bright nowadays, David. And they say, I ain't going in there just to get sent over there by Ursula von der Leyen in Brussels.
Yep, exactly.
I'm not joining at all. Whether that leads to a conscription type deal, like a lot of the European countries already have, who knows?
100,000 in hotels that we can send over straight away, do you know?
Yeah, just send them over and leave them.
Front line. Thanks a lot, Simon. Cheers for
Absolute
talking to us.
Thank
Wrong
you.
hand.
I am One Generation Media, and this is my media. One Gen Media, walking the streets with a yes, yes of the UK, the courage of the UK, pushing my camp to the limit.